let's hit record, and let's kill the music, and let's play the game. Warcraft Reforged. That's kind of cheating, because Warcraft 3 would do perfectly well with a remaster. Ironically, if Warcraft Reforged was a remaster, things might not have gone as badly. Okay, where the heck were we? We have 2 seeds, 1 water flow, and no bubble gum. Planetary life. Never heard of that. Prince of Persia. I don't know. I think that might work if we do it properly. Hang on. Let's check out planetary life here. Hang on. Scrolling down. Scrolling down. Okay. No Gen AI. Good. That's become the first thing I do anytime I find out about a new game. Also, every time I double check a game, because sometimes they add, we decided to use Gen AI because we're evil and dumb. I have had to axe several promising games from my list because they do. Shrug. I say had to. I have chosen to. Nobody's put a gun to my head. People put guns to my head all the time, but not for that. I wonder. I've never played Betrayal at Krondor, so I can't even speak to that one. That's an interesting loop. Okay. Watch, I'm going to be stuck here so long I won't even finish the game today. I'm sorry in advance, Kira White Noise. I hope this has been at least an interesting video, or stream, or review, or whatever you want to call it. Interaction. I mean, the number of games that are interesting, but not really good, is actually pretty large, if you think about it. Yeah, just out of reach. Alright, that's not gonna work. Ugh, yeah, that's a bad one. There's a BattleTech spiritual successor game that I really had my eye on that is using... Yeah, I think we're up to 2 pumpernickels. And the big one was like me getting turbo stuck. I still don't feel bad about that. It's the only stage where I just straight up did not see something until I, by accident, fell down a thing, looked the other way, and happened to see the ramp down. I don't know how the hell I missed that so many times. That's the first and honestly the only time that there's been an issue with guidance in the entire game. Anyways, it was a BattleTech spiritual successor. It was really cool, interesting, fun, awesome, fully AI-generated voice acting, and music, and art, which is like... That's pretty much the trifecta there. The only thing that's worse than that is the programming. So it was like, oh, okay. That sucks. I mean, there's more to a game than art and music and, you know, voice acting, but Jesus Christ, people, come on. Hi, Bleachfall. Are you in the thank you list? Where's the thank you? I can pull up the thank you list here. Storm Mage Felix. Is that you? Either way, that's probably a dealer's choice, or a trade if you do any trading. I have no idea. Which ones, if you don't mind sharing, Graven? I do like being confused. There we go. That should wake. I haven't heard of either of those. What's the hook? Okay, one's an ocean, one's a tree. Maybe I have heard of the tree one, because that sounds like one I've been following. Ooh. Mission complete. Alright, we did it. We beat the game. Woo! I'm kidding. Alright, so. Now for the even harder puzzle, followed by the even harder puzzle. Followed by the Brain Buster. Followed by the Cthulhu-esque Bruster. Yes, Bruster. I have no idea why there's bratwurst here, but by golly, you're gonna enjoy them. Nobody cooks up a Bruster like Cthulhu. I don't know, I still have a headache. Don't look at me. Why is there so much gloop everywhere? Oh my god. Okay. I've been gone for 5 minutes! This is what it's like doing the dishes. Oh, Star Monster's dead. Star Monster's turbo dead. I don't say that with any relish. I was actually very looking forward to Starmancer. I was actually streaming when it was very first announced at a PC Gamer show. Back when E3 existed. That's how long ago that was. Yeah, when I say it's dead, I mean it. It is an abandoned game. Yeah, I commented on this recently when Evo was present. It's funny how cheap, almost. I know that's a weird word to use. How free marking it is to just not use Gen AI, right? Like, just do what game developers have been doing for, you know, literal decades. Don't change anything. Don't do anything new. And people are like, woo! It is the benefit of other people being sufficiently terrible as to essentially give you free brownie points. I'm looking forward to Timberborn. Yeah, I've been seeing that in several of my mods, too. It's like, guys, come on. Okay, so I could get it out over here. Okay, well, alright. So this goes here. Alright, and wall. Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, guys, I've decided to say that Nazis are bad. And people are like, yes! Yes, finally! Someone with the bravery and courage to say that Nazis are bad! And it's like... Okay. I do remember that. I made fun of that for a very long time. Remember, we here at the Lore Walkers are totally cool with shooting Nazis in the face. If they ever make another Wolfenstein game, which at this point they won't, because it is freaking destroyed as a company, I will look forward to shooting Nazis in the face. We still need to review Wolfenstein 3D someday. That's on my historical wish list, because it's not a good game, and it's not going to review well. But I haven't played it since it, like, was ported to the SNES, I want to say, which is like, I don't know, a year or two after it came out, something like that. Hey, Wolverine. I mean, I probably could. I've got a bunch of other higher priority stuff. God dang it, I should do first, but I could. Okay, where am I trying to get this? Over there. How the hell do I get it over there? Oh, I think I see. Okay, let's actually move this. There it comes. All right. Let's try this. So, whoops. One of the things I want to do is, especially as we get more and more granular with the list, oh, I'm just making another one. That makes sense. Is I want to actually like do a no really audit. I don't know if it'll change much, but just really zoom in the camera at the things at the top and the bottom. You'll notice Secret of the Stars is also on the maybe someday list. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. So the goal is to someday review, re-review, and it is a true audit. The top and the bottom, which again is Secret of the Stars and StarCraft 2. Possibly Mario Wonder, but everything else I'm pretty comfortable with. Everything else is recent enough and up to code enough that I don't really feel the need to recover it. Come on. There we go. So, that's an interesting question, Blue Bolt, which has so many layers to it. I'm actually not sure I can give you what I would consider a satisfactory answer right now off the top of my head. And I mean that sincerely. Because we have to get into definitions, we have to get into progress, change things, we have to get into why people will do things if escalation happens. We have to get into the nature of war and World War II and all kinds of other fun stuff. And honestly, I'd just rather skip that whole conversation, if that's okay with you. How the hell? I need to get it over there. What? And yeah, it's under. How do I get it here? Oh, that's how. I get it over here. Okay, so hang on. Let's see if I have enough to do this. So I actually need this to go the other way. Yeah, no, we've covered a lot of pretty bad games in the past couple of years. I will admit, I have a feeling, I've said this before, I have a feeling that barring new games, I think we've kind of already gotten like the top 10-ish. I will be quite surprised if anything manages to... If anything manages to breach like the top 10, even the top 25, honestly. We have covered some extremely good games, and pretty much all of the typical best games we've already covered. Like, you look up best games of all time lists, most of those we already have on the books. Oh, damn. Won't work. Well, no, it might work. Well, yeah, like obviously new games are, who knows? That's kind of part of the new game thing there. All right, so now the bottom, I still think we could break out the floor on the bottom. Oh, that's frustrating. I can't. If I had 3 more seeds, I could do that. Okay. I don't actually know what the Quiet Man is. I don't think Forspoken is a particularly good game, from everything I know, but I can't imagine it would break bottom 10. Or my bottom 25. Or, sorry, the other way. Bottom 25 or my bottom 10. Well, let's play with this. This isn't going to work, because I needed another seed to make this work. Whoops. Went too far. Yep, so, and now I'm going the wrong way. Perfect. And that's the problem. I actually watched the 2-minute speedrun during my lunch break. More or less just to test to make sure it's, you know, not going to be a nodule warning. Kinda is. Kinda is. I mean, I've heard the dialogue in Forspoken. It's not good. But unfortunately, that just kind of puts it in the norm at this point in history. Yeah, Dragon Quest XI might be up there. And yeah, I'm obviously not including FF6 or Chrono Trigger or Dragon Quest XI, because those are kind of known variables. Do this. Yeah, we'll see with Deltarune. I also haven't reviewed Undertale. Although, honestly, I don't think Undertale is top 20 territory. That's true, and it was a new game. So that qualifies for that category. I don't know, Undertale might be up there. It would be leaning so... I mean, 341... I suppose 341 isn't that insurmountable. Whoops. If that's our bar for top 20. What's top 10? What's the 10 slot right now? Because that might be what I was thinking about. Okay, yeah, 464 is going to be a lot harder to surpass. Possible, but tricky. Okay. Yeah, Bonanza might. That would also qualify as new game territory. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 will, from everything I've been hearing about it. But we do have Metroid Prime 1R. Well, StarCraft 2 is cheating. That's actually the other reason. One of the things I want to do once we do our audit of StarCraft 2 is kind of parse it out into this. Basically, do the same thing we did with Shovel Knight. For the three of you who noticed that, because yeah, StarCraft 2 is cheating. It is 3 extremely good games smacked onto each other. And Diablo 3 is kind of cheaty as well. Now that's interesting. Okay. I'm gonna make that work till that's way up there. I don't think I can get it over here. Yeah, I'm not even going to touch the Halo 1 remaster. Why would I? MCC is right over there, and good. That is a good question, Mr. Red. If you figure out an answer to that, let me know. So yeah, we have 3 seeds. Yes, Wolverale. I believe that's actually our 3rd worst stream we've ever had. It was honestly pretty unpleasant. Okay, so that eventually goes out there. Getting over here is easy, but then what? I can't get it over here. It's not possible. I mean, obviously the game's scoring reasonably well, especially for a puzzle game. So I want this here. I shouldn't say that. Yes. I'm just saying, puzzle games don't historically score that well. Unless they have Portal in the name. There. Jesus Christ. That took way too long to line up. One of my biggest requests is that I could just kind of enter a camera-free mode every now and again, and so I could just look at the puzzle from different angles. Especially in a game like this. Automation. Wario Land block. Pioneers of Pagonia. Thank you for being part of the show in our sense. Always appreciate you. Okay, so we got the door open. Those 2. If this follows the trend, we should have 4 more rooms, 4 more puzzle rooms. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst thing ever known to exist in the history of the ever. As I've mentioned before, I'm more into what I call Zelda puzzles. I believe the official term for that is environmental puzzles. I love a good Zelda puzzle. Like, a lot. Like, probably too much. That being said, the really good puzzle games. Oof. Speaking of, looking forward to Talos Principle 2 someday. And hi, Mr. Red. I demand a pun. Puns for the pun throne. Okay. Excellent, Mr. Red. Good. Your puns have made you powerful. Now strike me down with all of your anger. Your journey to the pun side will be complete. Damn these stupid non-linear everythings. Well, don't look at me like that. These things are a pain. In fact, I might have pseudo-softlocked myself because I went the wrong way around one because I forgot it was there. It's my fault. I suck. I'm worthless. But, now what? Okay, hang on. Let's just reset here. There is no nasal spray that can save you from the dark side of the Force. The dark side is a pathway to nasal sprays some might consider unnatural. Okay, so hang on. There we go. Okay. Now I just have to get a red here. Easy peasy. Total joke. No difficulty whatsoever. 3 hours later. Okay, I like how the previous room took me like, God, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I'm already done with this room. Frickin' liminal spaces. Or superliminal spaces, whatever it is. I don't know words. Oh god, it's the Tetris section. Okay, well here's our goal. Red 5. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I have not seen the trailer. What's the image? Yeah, that's where I need to get it. I mean, I don't care, but someone in chat might. So just toss me in on Discord. I'll look at it later. I guess I could look at it now. You just really want me to fill out this puzzle. Just be honest about it, Loke. Just admit it. Oh, I have no idea, but I am one of the people who really did like Ahsoka Season 1. Like, a lot. In fact, I would go so far as to say that of the Star Wars, the new Wars, the AU, whatever you call it, Ahsoka Season 1 might be the actual worst thing. The second worst thing for me. You ever plan to watch Acolyte? No. What's this image? That, yeah, that looks really dumb, whatever that is. That's it. I love the edgy teenager eye paint too, but really that is really dumb looking. Sure. I want you to imagine you've got a hilt right here for your lightsaber. Okay. And a hilt here. And there's a lightsaber blade going in between the two hilts. Please ignore how little sense that makes. And then the blade's coming out this way, so like it's a... It's stupid. It's stupid. Like, that's just... I'm sorry. I know I've been wanting other types of lightsaber weapons for a while. That's not what that is. Yeah, that's not making it into the rewrite. That's a good way to phrase that. Okay, I need a red cube. I haven't even seen one yet. How does that even work? It doesn't, I believe. See, the idea, and this is actually something that much more talented artists than I have already put together, is let's say you've got something. Let's talk about how to do a lightsaber axe, okay? The way a lightsaber axe works is you've got the handle, which is just metal and circuitry and whatever else, and then you've got the emitter, which looks like this. And the emitter emits the blade in between here. And thus you have the lightsaber blade going in between these two things. Whoosh, right? One solid object. If you have this, nothing's connecting the two emitters other than the blade. So logically, the only way to actually ignite that would be to like hold up one emitter and then the other, and ignite one or the other so that they connect to each other somehow. Ignoring the fact that that should just destroy the other emitter. And also ignore the fact that if you miss by like a millimeter, you're just going to burn your hand off. Come on, guys. Well, even a lightsaber pole, let's just say a spear, would mostly just be, you know, emitter and then a very long blade, which you just wield like a spear. Like, guys, come on. I know Star Wars has always run on rule of cool, but that's really, really dumb. Rule of cool, not rule of dumb. That's the problem right there. I mean, we've seen some pretty shark jumpingly stupid stuff in Star Wars already. Helicopter blades. Least cool lightsaber design than one, other than one I just saw. Lightsaber helicopters. Now, you want to see Rule of Cool. In the anime series they did, I forget which one, don't ask me. There was a lightsaber that was always ignited for some weird reason and could never be turned off. So, he had like a really specialized hilt that was a full, like katana hilt in order to contain the blade. That still doesn't really make sense, and the more you think about it, the worse it gets. But at least it's cool to draw out a lightsaber katana, right? Visions, that was it. Like, again, if you're going to be rule of cool, you gotta be cool. That's kind of the proviso there. Yeah, no, it's extremely unnecessary and a huge hazard, but very cool. That was also an Elseworld, so they could do whatever the hell they want to with that. And they did. That was the whole point of Visions. They just did whatever they wanted to. Oh, come on, I just saw this. Where was it? There it is. There it is. I don't remember that one, Mr. Red. Oh, of course, there's just the one. I don't remember that one, Luke. What's that one from? Oh god, light whelps are insane. Or light whelps. Light whips are absolutely insane. There was a lightsaber umbrella in Visions, if that's what you're referring to. Again, Visions was all about the Elseworlds. Just do whatever the hell it wanted to. Reimaginings. See, you can't have something that spins and is cool in Star Wars. You know why? Because someone somewhere will quote Anakin Skywalker at it, and that will immediately reduce its cool factor. The variable in length thing is actually one of the oldest lightsaber variants that we have in Star Wars. That goes back to Jedi Academy, which is fifth, I think, the fifth book we had. That too, Kira was nice. So how the heck? Oh, I'm an idiot. It's right here. Never mind. No, I know. I'm commenting on it because the variable blade length thing was actually one of the better lightsaber variant ideas, in my opinion. Like, that just lines up, right? Hell, the game we just played had variable blade length, if you're paying attention. Alright, what do we get out of that? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Still have another blue if we need it. So we have 2 blues and 2 blue reds. That's an interesting combo. I also don't really know our goal here. Let's get on the ceiling really quick. No. Someone pulls out a lightsaber and it's like... and it goes out the building. And then keeps going, and then keeps going. You get it. Okay, I need it over there. How the heck do I get in there at all? And yeah, a dagger saber is an interesting idea that I'm sure they've played with at some point. I just don't remember it. I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars out there, and I'm not as prolific with it as I used to because I kind of pretty much bowed out of the AU entirely. Oh, okay. You move the lightsaber armor with the Force. Any mistake and you die immediately. But as long as you're really talented. Poor Yoda. Judge me by my size, do you? He just walked. No, so there's a guy in Forgotten Realms, a dwarf, who has spiky armor. And both in lore and in stats, what he does is he charges people and then hugs them. So, also same brain there, Logue. Twent, that's him. Never think of his name. I'm sorry, can I share really quick? Apparently, my poor, extremely rich grandparents are having to finally sell one of their cars. Just... I can stop the sentence right there. I really can. Yeah, hang on. Could you find your smallest violin really quick? Just super quick. Now this is fun. The water goes down that ledge, lands there, keeps going. Yeah, you would never want to fight a force user when having lightsaber armor, because all I'd have to do is do force yank, and you'd just kind of be dead in many, many pieces. Oh, there's nothing. There's not going to be anything left, Brakeman. I gave up on that years ago. Here's something funny. Somewhat recently, I was offered a not insubstantial amount of money with strings attached. I said no. And there have been a couple of times when I have thought back and wondered if I should have just swallowed my pride and said sure, but no, that was the right call. I don't really want to be a part of that. All the usual basic stuff, Luke. Okay, so that's there now. I don't really want to be a live-in nurse right now, just because I don't have a real job. Among other things. It would also include me having to go find a real job. Among other things. Hello, Elazar. Now, see, that can't be true, because I'm not miserable every day at Kenixcow. And I don't make a lot of money. So it's no problem to get it over there. Unfortunately, yes, I have seen the television show Lost. Once there, it just starts looping. And yeah, it doesn't go any further. It's funny you say that. My entire biological family drinks. Probably too much. It's not a shaming thing. I know a lot of people like to drink for a lot of reasons. That's why I added that word. Too much. My delightful mother is currently reminding me of how much more successful my cousin is than I am. Right. So you asked that question. I don't know if I like 100% understand the question. Are you asking like in Elseworlds, like if we're doing a what if scenario, Lord Paramount? Okay. Okay. So. No, Elazar. The show had a very solid and very good season 1. Do me a favor, Elazar. Look up how many seasons Lost had. Yeah, I was just... Because, like, yeah, Corypheus probably would have self-destructed when he hit the Well of Sorrows. Would he have been able to recover from that? Would he have been able to body hop after that? Because I'm not sure, because that's not a standard death, right? Furthermore, would that have sped up the events of 4, of Veilguard, rather? Okay, so I feel like... Can I even get this over there? Let's see if I can get this over there. Okay. Cannot redirect the water here. That sucks. Okay. True, Lord Harrimont. And he is certainly a bigger fish than Corypheus was. Yeah, exactly, Loke. That's an interesting one. Let's assume that he would have gone ahead and self-destructed. At that point, I think the biggest actual risk to everything would be the idea that the Inquisition would have been less prepared for Solus. Solus probably would have just straight up succeeded at his plan, and then who knows what would have happened when Solus won at the beginning of Dragon Age 4. Because nobody would have been there to interrupt or stop him. That's a good question, too, Blake 12. That's a tough one. I do like the idea of that being a setup for Dragon Age 4. Well, Veiltor. Now what? Okay, this means if I'm going to redirect it, I have to redirect it over there. But there's no point in redirecting it over here. Because this doesn't lead anywhere. No, it is, Lord Harrimont. It's kind of funny to think about. It is not the first time. There's an entire trope for it. It's called "Good Job Breaking It, Hero." It's not the first time that the heroes doing nothing would have actually foiled the enemies. Chrono Cross! Not a spoiler. Just saying. Okay, how about... Idea. Let's do this. There we go. And then back to here. Okay, so I can get it over. What was my point? I thought it was self-evident, which is why I stopped talking about it, Elazar. So when I say here, let's talk these through. Let's do this as a thought exercise. So if I say season 1 of Lost is good, and then I say how many seasons were there, what is the point I'm trying to make there? Hey! Brain functioned. Barely. To be slightly more accurate, I would say that Lost was a near-linear decline in quality across its entire series. I will admit, I actually never watched the full ending, because, let's just say the entire last season, because by then I was already thoroughly de-invested. Yeah, we've already been at this for an hour, Kira White Noise. I think this was the correct call. Season 2 already lost me. Lost was so bad, Bragwin stopped watching television. Yeah, no, the actual I have seen the ending, the final, I guess 2 episodes, 3 episodes, whatever that is. Because I was curious. I was like, all right, fine. What was it? What was it all about? Oh. Huh. It is Lamentation bad, 100%. Yeah, no kidding, Luke. I mean, I'm going to spoil the ending of X-Files for you. You ready for this? It turns out that aliens are real. I should mention that this big reveal at the very end of X-Files is treated like a huge reveal. The more you know about the X-Files, the funnier that is. Or more horrible, depending on your perspective. God. Yeah. Just... We did. Aliens were already present in the show in season 1. I'm not even counting like the various mutants and creatures and weirds and you know, things that belong in control. No, like we know that straight up aliens existed as of season 1. No, aliens are right over there, Jay Plummer. We meet quite a few of them. There's an alien bounty hunter who's a recurring character. I am being slightly facetious because the other big reveal, you ready for this? Is that the aliens are planning an invasion of Earth. Now, that we also knew that from season 1. So, in fact, they even treated that as a big reveal in the movie, the first movie, which it also wasn't there. This is why I don't feel bad at all spoiling this, because what? No, the invasion was old news at that point. The invasion had been in the series for a while. There's actually a scene that they show on camera where the conspiracy humans who think they're going to be spared by capitulating to the aliens are all rounded up and killed along with their families. It's a weird scene because it probably should have been like this really horrific, like, oh my god kind of a scene. And instead, it's like an impromptu shot. What do they call those? Flash performance or whatever. Like people will flash crowd, right? Like, haha, you're all dead. Cut to black. X-Files is another show that kind of got worse over time, by the way. Star Wars, Jay Palmer. No, I get your point. Honestly, my first thought is Encounters of the Third Kind. Flash mob, that's it, thank you. Believe it or not, I have not, Jabez. Forgive me for being old and cantankerous. I'm just not invested enough to try to be on the bleeding edge there. All the original. I haven't seen anything of the new stuff on Earth, and I honestly probably never will. is it? Hey, by the way, you should probably get your guesses in soon. We're probably not too far off from the ending. If this is any indication. Yes, there's going to be a Kingdom Hearts anime. Before you ask, no, I'm not going to watch it. Ask Rax about that. I'm sure she'll watch it. I would say there's been nothing I would consider a narrative thread except for the most vaguest possible metaphor kind of a thing. Even that's debatable. Yeah, this might be one of those games we've talked about, which is a game that has no story. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh my god, look at this room. Oh, I don't like this room. I do not like this room. Okay, okay. Hang on. I do not like them, Sam I am. Okay, it's just a platform. It's a very bright platform, but it's still just a platform. Okay. I like the globs of... Oh god, no, it's a dentist commercial push-ups. Look, it's the tar. And everything else is white, you know? And the thing that's cleaning it is colors. It's crap. Oh my god, it's Fire Emblem Engage. I knew it. So it looks like my goal, whoops, is over here. Yeah, like right there. What do you think that "bogong" sound is? It's just really, really, really slowed down. Here we go. I finally found something. It's loud. Okay. Water. Which is wet. Despite what some liars would tell you. Okay, so I have to get the water to somewhere. I also have 2 more redirects. I don't know where I'm trying to get this water to. So let me think. First, whoops, let's fall. Very important. Let's scooch this over. Did I scooch the right way? I don't think I scooched the right way. Darn it. Hang on. Calm down, Mr. Red. It's gonna be okay. There'll be no more pain where you are. Okay, so it looks like the river terminates. Do I think this game will get replayability? That's an interesting question. I don't know. Like, puzzle games almost always don't get replay positives because they're puzzle games, right? There are exceptions. Some are fun enough and interesting enough that you want to go back and play them. You know, usually after a couple of years have passed, so you've forgotten the solutions. But by their very nature, the central mechanic of solving the puzzle sort of diminishes replayability. Excuse me. Yeah, Portal's a good example. Portal 1 and Portal 2 especially. Portal 2 especially are good examples of replayables on that front because, you know, there's a sufficient quantity of quality that you want to go back and replay it. I feel like I should do this. And yeah, the co-op campaign helps too. I actually want to play that with the low run E someday because I don't think they have. Okay. I'm not sure what stopped that actually. Why did you stop here? What stopped you? Oh my god, it was the water. The water stopped it. Haha, okay, hang on. Hang on. Damn, I can't. Okay, here. Just quickly redirect that. Okay, now let's head back over here. And then head back over here. The other way, and this way. This time, hopefully it'll actually go through without the water there to block it. Okay. So there's the destination. Get the water there. Which means this needs to be elongated. Which means that needs to go there. Which means this needs to go this way. So let's do this. Yep, nope, that's the right line. Okay. Alright, now. Well, that's falling forever. I need you. There we go. And then I need you to not do what you just did. Oh, man, where's Red? Where's Red? No! Mr. Red! You've betrayed me. Could you? After all those highlight reels I so graciously allowed you to do. You're still awesome for doing this, by the way. I lost red and blue. Where the hell's red and blue? Has to be this way. Right? Right? There it comes. Okay. Damn it. Okay, hang on. What's our configuration right now? So that doesn't look right. I need... God, how do I get this here? Okay. Let's... I need... Okay, hang on. I need to be... Whoop, not there. I need here. Get green out of the way. God, I've already lost track where I am. Okay, so green's out of the way, but... How do I can't, can I? I need it to be this way. What is with the music? Is that supposed to be doing that, Kira White Noise? It just keeps periodically being like, wait, I remember that I exist. I remember that the music exists. That this is not Kingdom Hearts. Although it kind of looks like it. Like, picture that being the darkness, the heartless, you know? Getting topical with that Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff here. See, I knew all along. I always knew this was going to be a Kingdom Hearts 4 stream. Okay. So if I... Where the heck am I? So if the water goes this way, it will not go where I want it to. Because... I don't know how to do this. Okay, hang on. Let's make green go this way. That's not green! Okay, well, you're busy, like, breaking the universe there. Green. Up. God, now I'm all turned around. Hang on. I had an idea, and it's gone now. Although, that might work out? Hang on. That might work out. Okay, so where's the water? I'm actually turned around now. Where did you put the water, Mr. Red? Where did you put it? Swear to me! So that's lined up. Probably not push-ups. I kind of doubt it, right? Okay, so That might actually work. Okay. Do I need this one? Yes. Damn. Okay. So I've got, what, 2 to make this work? I don't think this is possible. I don't think this is possible. Because I am dumb. Dumbness is my middle name. Okay. Well, no, this might not work. This might not work. Excuse me. Oh crap! No, I need to be further up. No. Okay. Yeah, back to here. I need to be up, which means I need to be over here. Into the darkness. Okay. Behold. The true brilliance of my failure. Manifested now. For your viewing pleasure. See how off I am. Looks like by about 1 square. So this needs to be this way once. How? How is that even possible? The only way that would work is if I could get this that way. Well, that wouldn't work, though. Because the purple's in the way. That has to be there. There is no other configuration of that. It's the only way to get it down here. Green has to be there in order to catch the initial pool drop. Purple has to be here to be able to redirect it. I don't know how else to do this. Okay. Okay. Water comes off there. I guess I don't need that platform. At least I don't think I do. Or I do, and I'm an idiot. But if I'm an idiot... Nothing? What's blocking you? The water. Oh god, is this the way back? God damn it. Come on, game. Work with me here. The fact that there's a wall up there instead of a loop really makes getting back up to the water source really irritating. Don't worry, the internet would never inform me if I was an idiot. So, I just had a random thought. You see, my problem as a streamer is I try to be a good player and to try to figure things out and analyze things in an intelligent, reasoned manner. One of the most successful metrics, methods, one of the most successful strategies for being a valuable streamer is to constantly play particularly badly so that your entire audience is screaming at their TV or monitor or phone, "What are you doing, you moron? You moron, stop it." And constantly leaving comments and talking in chat and being like, "Oh god, no, you're so stupid. Why are you so stupid?" Like, imagine this game is kind of a bad example of this, but imagine if the solution were something as really blatantly simple as put seed into thing. So I'm just sitting here like, okay, hang on. So I've got the thing. This needs to go over here. But if I put it here, no, it's not doing anything. Maybe if I put it on this side. Oh, hang on, that did something. Let me try that again. Okay. And no, DSP, by all accounts, actually is that stupid. And doesn't make that much money, which I admit is kind of a quiet relief to me. No, I'm talking about actually successful streamers. Okay. Whoop. That. Cool. I got her, green. No? What's in the way now? What's in the way now? It's still the water. It's still the water. I hate everything. I hate everything in the entire universe. Especially you. See, now I'm going to wait to see who jumps on that in chat. Who will be the first person to take ownership of my intense hatred? It was you, Mr. Red. I always knew. God damn it, now I'm extremely turned around. Okay, I'm back up here, finally. Okay, water gone. Shoot. Okay. Go away. Alright. Now, this one. I'm not sure of the configuration, but I think this is the next step. Once again, I wish I could kind of zoom the camera out or just go into like a camera mode to tell what the hell I'm looking at. Oh my goodness. I do like management games. I don't think anybody else does, but I do. Why would that be a bad thing, Czar? Okay. What in the world is going on here? Okay, so the water comes out here. There it comes. It should still be smooth, or not? Why did it stop? Oh, because it ran... What? That makes no sense. I mean, Elden Ring is a better game than Dark Souls, but it's also a more Dark Souls game than Dark Souls. And whether or not that's a good thing or not is kind of going to depend on you. Okay. This doesn't help me at all. How do I get that an extra step forward? Alright. Okay. Move. Okay. Now, I need it to be this way. I very specifically need it to be this way. Apparently I'm faster than the giant blocks. Okay. Is that far enough now? Freaking finally. I've been in this room for too long. God damn it. I just wanted to look over the edge. God damn it, game. I just wanted to look over the edge to see if the configuration was right. And the game's like, off you go! This is why these staircases are here, so you can get back up without having to change the position of the tetrominos. Well, I've got good news, Czar. Witcher 3 has almost nothing to do with Witcher 2, and nothing to do with Witcher 1. So, you did it! You have seen the end of the trilogy. It's a good game, and I still recommend it on its own merits. Just cheap. Just cheap. Okay. So this is now going over here. Yep, okay. So that goes over there, and this goes over here. Alright. Please tell me this is lined up. If it isn't, I'm going to be extremely sad. Oh, thank you, God. Alright, now what? What fresh hell is this? He says as soon as Sean enters the room. Hi, Sean. I actually don't know how much is left. We're clearly in the Wily stages. This is the rainbow section. Final exam territory. Dog walking simulator. It's just walking the dog. There's no gameplay. It's actually a walking sim. Oh, hello. Oh, God, no. This... Oh, God. Oh, my God, look at how huge it is. This is it. This is hell. This room is hell. I can already tell. Okay, well, there's our corrupted tree. Oh, God. Okay, I need a second. So there's a water wheel. It's immediately a bad sign. water destination. One of our water destinations. I haven't seen any seeds yet. Trees. I should just be looking for trees. Yeah, I think this place was taken over by the nothing. Oh, I see water. I see water. There we go. So there's our seeds and there's our water source. Oh my god. I have to get this with one seed. I have to get the water from here to, I'm not even sure where, because there were several possible destinations there. Okay. So, grab the seed, obviously. Let's assume it's out first. We'll just see where this goes. Yeah, so it goes out here. Out, 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 out. We can redirect it at this point. In fact, let's just do this first. Hopefully we'll get at least a seed here. Please. Okay, we got 2 seeds. Oh, ho, ho. Gas. Alright. So let's scooch it over this ledge now. See what that does, if indeed anything. Let's incorrectly place the block. Very important. Driving viewer engagement. Seeding the RNG. Other buzzwords. Okay, well, there's an obvious, like, creek thing here, so let's see what this is. Okay, so that, alright, that hits this. What does this open up? Something, I hear something happening. I don't know what. What did this do? Explain yourself, Kim. Aha! Okay, so there's our orb. Orb name in chat. Oh, it's up there. Okay. Up here, a little more, a little more. Reaching might be interesting. A little too early. I do love poo flinging. What are they flinging poo over today? How am I supposed to reach there? I mean, I guess I can do the obvious thing. Yes. Ah! Well, it sucks to be them, Dakota. There's a few writing discords I'm aware of, which have been going through similar problems. And it's always like a relatively small but very vocal, very frequent poster group of people who are like, ah! Okay, so... Rainbow. Possibly time. Lots of colors. We got all the colors now. I do, actually, Dakota. Oh, that's pretty. Rainbow Tesseract. I'd say for you, Mockingbirds, but you're not even here. So instead, I dedicate this Rainbow Tesseract to the most rainbow person I know. Which is probably Kennex Cow, actually. Here you go, Kennex Cow. And Kennex Cow, like, gets inverted. Congrats, you are now in every dimension simultaneously. You hear this vaguely wet sound, and then she's just gone. Oh, this is an empty-ass room. Look at this place. Jesus. Hang on, let's soak that in for a second. Look at that. One last plummet for old time's sake. Oh my goodness, okay. Interesting place. I do like the rainbow motif. 7 years, I want to say, Jay Palmer? Something like that, relatively recently. I understand that it's sad to call a 7-year-old game recent, but here we are. Oh, what is that? I can't change gravity. No, I can't. I wanted to fly over there. What is that? Hey, I was just referencing you, Mockingbirds. Hi, Nortame. Can someone play the Doctor Who theme song really quick? No reason. Ooh. I think this counts as plaid right here, Wolverine. We are drugs, Trihexia. We are drugs. I guess this is the result of adding color back to the equation. No, it took away camera control from me a while ago when we were going through warp speed. I like the countdown at the end. 4 dimensions, 3 dimensions, 2 dimensions, 1. But that's it, isn't it? Yeah, no. Time. What? Okay. I'm not actually sure what to make about that ending. They're pretty, I'm sure. Oh god, they're singing. And copy-wronged. And then, yeah, then Skyrim starts. You're finally awake. Yeah, this is actually a prologue to ESO this whole time. My bad, guys. Damn, Kira White Noise, that is a high guess. Oh my god, you killed my bot! Wait, no, there it goes. No, it's not going. You did! You killed my bot! How'd you... Why would you do this push-ups? Why? I witnessed it! Live on camera. Now, I don't think this is going to beat Portal 2. But the average golden number for puzzle games is actually quite high at 82. That's pretty high. We've covered some good puzzle games. So let's see. Well, I still got to do the audit. And you know what that means. Who here wants to see this game beaten in about 1 minute and 10 seconds? I mean, ISE was right earlier. The biggest problem with Unity has always been the company. The best part is, if you didn't know this game, it probably just looked like a normal playthrough. Hell, if you do know this game, this might look like a normal playthrough. Whoops. This was fun. Thank you for exposing me to this, Gear White Noise. Yeah, by the way, you probably blinked there. Because he did it. He won. He is essentially done. Yeah, he glitched through the walls, found the area where the final loading trigger was, and then triggered the ending. The end. See? Time, as they say. Yeah, no, hang on. There's another speedrun which we will not be going all the way through. This one's a little slower. I mean, I know quite a few speedruns which boil down to walk to the ending from the beginning because they're connected in some way. Hell, the original what do you call it? Out of Bounds Link to the Past run is that, because you can actually reach the Ganon fight from Hyrule Castle. So you wake up, talk to your uncle, go to the castle, walk through the room where Ganon is, walk past the room Ganon is in, and pick up the Triforce. And I'm just saying, that's canon now. Oh, sorry, motion sickness warning. Because this is a little more thorough, and that means a lot more camera movement. I'm not going to be watching this. I'm going to be more focusing on the audit. The good news is the story axis, the audit, I think we're already done with. Yep. +3. No notes. Gameplay's going to take me a little longer. Yeah, there were actually several sections, where I felt like I could have just fallen instead of walked and it would have been faster. But I wasn't in that much of a hurry. Lots of good puzzle design. I am thoroughly impressed. For whatever that's worth. Yeah, you may or may not have seen me do this every now and again, with my gloves off. It's because I have, in my new locale, gotten used to the idea of regularly lotioning. Because, I don't live in a swamp anymore. Plus, I do try to take care of my skin. Hey, Kira White Noise, real question. If you were to compare the core mechanic of, I guess flipping and blocking would be the central mechanic. How would you compare that alongside, for a specific example, the portal gun in Portal 1? Just knee-jerk thought. Anybody else wants to jump on that, feel free. So I'm looking at the replayability. We were talking about this earlier. We have given replayability to 6 puzzle games so far. Portal 1 and 2, that's obvious. Pokemon Snap, that was actually the second replay positive, if you remember. Luigi's Mansion 3, which is just a really fun game. Hard Space Shipbreaker, kind of a weird one because it's actually also too long of a game, but I could see going back and replaying the early levels. And of course, Ghost Trick, which is solid. How we feel about this one? I mean, there is no stories to speak of. Yeah, I actually did glance at the map here when I didn't even understand it. Which is just kind of a... What? What am I looking at? Kind of a moment. Okay. Manifold Garden. Story score. This is the lowest story score we've ever given a puzzle game. Which, yeah, I don't have much to add to that. Gameplay. I should mention the reason there's a story score at all is the fact that there's just some vibes. Honestly, that's it. All three story points are vibes. Visual and audio. That's not a dig, it's just a statement of fact. Gameplay-wise, plus 20. That is actually above average for a puzzle game. The average right now... yeah, exactly, Mr. Red. The average right now for a puzzle game on gameplay access is actually 14. So, okay. That is a lot of gameplay pluses per hour because the game is insanely short. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it isn't. Hold up. I'm stupid. Hang on, let me fix that. I forgot to figure out how long the game was. I am very smart. Okay. Yeah, that's... I saw the gameplay density, I was just like, wait, what? That's not right. Okay, so hem, that is 0.46 positives per hour on this direction. That's much better. And 3.04 positives per hour on the gameplay axis, which makes much more sense. Jesus Christ. And a 95.45% ratio, which is way above average, giving us a final golden number of, drumroll please, yeah, that makes sense. So, just to put this into perspective, Talos Principle got 47, Outer Wilds got 51, and this gets 57.81, which means I think Philisondus wins, but no, that's a solid score. That is a fun, interesting puzzle game, which I can pretty much recommend without an asterisk. Very few flaws, short, sweet, very intuitive. You saw Sis was getting into it without even meaning to, and she didn't even get to see the meat of it. She was just watching one of the boss battles. Well, hang on. This is one of those things where it's really close. So I'll just do it over here. Nope, it actually does go to Philisondus by a difference of, like, 0.62, it looks like. that's how close that is. So congrats, Philisondus. This is why I brought out the calculator. That's going towards Command and Conquer. Yeah, Mockingbirds, what? The FF4 block and Xenosagas. Thank you, Kira White Noise, once again, for exposing me to this game. I hope you had fun with the stream. I hope you weren't too frustrated with me sucking horribly. I am going to go ahead and get some paperwork done, get this uploaded, and then maybe close my eyes for a bit because this migraine is slowly getting worse. Tomorrow, the Super Mystery Game, which should only be a one-day game as well. Which means I get to start thinking about what's next. And as a little bonus treat, several people have been asking, what are you working on? So I've got 3 categories of games that I want to knock out here. Okay? Excuse me, that's a lie. 4. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. So we've got EA games that I want to be done with, but I do care enough about to actually bother with. We won't finish those in one bundle. Like, we're not finishing those before the 29th, for example, because there's just too many Command & Conquers. But there are several EA games that are part of that. We've got games that have been on the list for a bajillion years and still have people putting interest towards them. We have games that are parts of blocks. I want the block page to go away. I want all those blocks done and gone. And finally, we have a couple of thank you games for people who have been consistently, consistently and persistently donating towards over time. That's the 4 categories of games that I've got on the this is probably what I'm going to put Dealer's Choice towards list. So, I haven't decided what we're doing first, but I'll probably have to decide tomorrow.